Hello, and thank you once again for joining us on Alive Television. This is Politics Alive, reaching you from Alive Television in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Olugbenga George. Today, many days or many weeks after the presidential elections and the governorship elections across the state, only a few days left, and many Nigerians are looking forward to the inauguration of the president-elect, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, of course, the president-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who emerged as the winner in the February 25th presidential election race. Of course, although the journey so far has been characteristic of many challenges, court cases here and there with a lot of trepidations across party lines about whether he will gradually emerge. The fact remains bare. He has been declared winner of the 2023 presidential elections, and maybe the court will decide whether or not it will not be so there many days or many weeks after. But with just few days to the expiration of the 180 days as required by the Independent National Electoral Commission, it seems quite clear that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu may be the next president of Nigeria, but only time will tell. But of course, I think after elections, it is important that we begin to look at what exactly is the kind of government we are looking at, and what should that government be focusing on. The presidential candidate of the APC campaigned on the Renewed Hope mandate, where he promised key sector reforms within the Nigerian architecture. But how much will this attend to the immediate challenges of the country? These and many more is our focus on today's edition of the program. When I return, my guest joins me to look into some of those sacred issues. Thanks for joining us once again. In case you just joined us, this is Politics Alive, reaching you from Alive Television in Abuja, and I am Olugbenga. Today, we look into the subject of governance after elections. Of course, a lot of people mistake politics for governance. The politicking season is gradually packing off, and the season for governance is about to emerge in the country. When the new president is sworn in, then governance begins in earnest. And to look at some of the key issues, while maybe taking a bit review from the electoral process that produced the president, I have been joined by Honorable Lanre Oluwole right here in the studios to help us look into some of the prevailing issues from the 2023 presidential elections and the focus for the incoming administration in Nigeria. It's good to have you join me, Honorable.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a while, to be on air with you again. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's begin. I haven't seen you since the elections. I think the last time we had conversation, it was preparation for who would emerge as party candidate or who emerged as president candidate, and there are chances of emerging at the presidential race. And interestingly, you have asserted that the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was going to win the race in our last conversation. And we have it here. So maybe I would say you have a bit of some jinx, to have been able to foresee that. Or perhaps you have seen, the political structure of the country, and you see who is best positioned to win the race. However, we have seen him emerge, and his emergence has not just been an emergence, it's not been a well-acceptable victory, so to speak. Certain quarters, opposition parties continue to kick against his emergence and drag across many lines of impropriety, across many lines of lack of adherence to constitutional provisions for transmitting election results and all of that. I'd like to get your view, because we haven't seen since the elections. How do you judge the entire electoral process that produced the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And it's a very, very interesting. And we have been on this for almost a year, because before the primary election in June, we've been talking about it. After when all the candidates emerged from different political parties, we also discussed more about it. And one thing that is quite unfortunate now is that majority of people that are claiming that there is irregularities, there is this today, they seem to know the truth and they don't want to accept the truth.
What is the truth?
Before you go into an election like this, you must look at your strength, you must look at your weakness. But just only that they like to deceive their followers. And the followers enjoy it that way. We are, like what you said, we have rightly said it before the election, that there is no one of them that can beat Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Don't of them thought maybe you are talking like that because you are a politician in APC. No, it's reality on ground. Politics is about statistics. Politics is about mathematics. It's not emotional. How can someone like the former Vice President Atiku believe he can win the contest when the party that you are coming from have divided into 4? Kwankwaso take one leg, Peter Obi took another leg, the G5 is already crying foul somewhere. So you are one before, but now you are split into 4. And you are going to a national election that you need every regions, no matter how it is, you need them on the field.
That's interesting because my previous conversation with a member of the PDP, he said undoubtedly, which is quite clear for all of us to see, the PDP went into this electoral process a fractured house. I mean, their walls were broken, and no doubt about it. But he insisted that the chances of the People's Democratic Party in this election were still brighter, if not for some of the hiccups. And especially because I'm coming, he said that following the allegations, that the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, also pointed out the several points that the irregularities which he pointed out, which INEC undertook. He said if those irregularities were not present in this election, the chances of PDP was stronger because you are now looking, like you're saying, at the divided PDP, which had a Labour Party, which had an NNPP in Kano, which, if all of this didn't break out, now, perhaps they would have still been...
Will you allow me to finish my analysis on them?
Please go ahead.
It's easier for you to fool some people. Very easy, especially in this side of our country. On social media, people will just come up and give some narrative that when you look at it, you imagine how can you believe such narrative? You have divided into 4. And when you check the result of the election, you don't need any argument. I believe they are sincere to themselves. If they call for a feedback meeting in PDP today, I think they will tell themselves the truth. Because if you check the outcome of the election, you will discover that the majority of the stronghold of PDP in the southern Nigeria, Labour Party took the vote there. In FCT, it's PDP that normally win FCT. The Labour Party won. In Lagos, it's PDP that always give APC a strong fight. APC has never won Lagos on a wide margin before. People don't know. It's either by 100,000, 50,000, 60,000. And PDP will took second. But this time around, instead of PDP to take that lead, Labour Party came in. And you can see the result of PDP. Far tall distance. So go to the northern part of the country as well. In Kano, where PDP is supposed to win or be at the highest second, Kwankwaso took the highest vote there. And what happened to the PDP in that state? Far tall distance. Go to River, where they have a problem with the G5. Go to your state where they have problem with the G5. So the people just like to deceive themselves. Now that one as it may be. On Labour Party, you want to tell me the Labour Party candidate will win the election. How?
He claims he still won.
He still claims he still won.
And he said he's going to prove it to Nigerians.
Exactly. That is why it's a laughable thing. Because already, if you follow the campaign, Obi did not do any tangible campaign in the northwest and northeast of the country. I could remember he went on Adamawa State. He just did a town hall meeting. He said, I don't want to do much here. See, this is my leader state, Atiku Abubakar. I don't want to disturb them here. In the state, you don't do campaign, vigorously. So tell me how you want to get 25% there. Which campaign did they do in Kano? Which campaign did they do in Borno? Which campaign did... That's why I said, Nigeria just like to be deceived. And now coming back to the INEC, I've break literal analysis about them. For anybody that have understanding, we know that this is not a bias analysis. Come to INEC. INEC promise us, not only them, INEC promise us that it will upload results live to INEC. Mind you, I used to tell people, don't deceive yourself. BFAS did not connected to server. Because I don't think where they are getting all this manner of narrative from. The work of BFAS is to accredit. That is why it's called Biomoda Voters Accreditation. This is the accreditation system. You cannot ask me, why do we not use BFAS? Good. We use BFAS to curb rigging in the sense that there is excess numbers of rigging. How does it take place? People will not come for accreditation. Maybe in a polling unit, the people that are supposed to vote in that polling unit is 1,000. And people that turn out for voting is 300. After you people have voted 300 finish, the rigging now took place by saying, okay, we recorded 900 people. And the vote is, they will now count the mini vote for the people they want to rig out or whatever, for the people that want to rig there. And they will now say, yes, we want that polling unit. They already want the polling unit too. But because they know that they have majority there, nobody will challenge the status quo. Maybe we still have 700 left. Let's say the 700 people have voted now. And where is the ballot? One person will now start printing. That is what BFAS has called off from our system.
Okay. So the place of the IREV.
As your accrediting is going to that machine, that 300 people are accredited. So any ballot paper you are cutting here cannot more than 300.
Interesting.
Now, they are not saying the result supposed to be going to serve immediately. No. The result is still going to be collected manually. And that's why you hear all manner of stories that, do you people even understand this? The result will still be collected manually from the unit. That is the reason why they ask you to provide your party agent. So if the thing is going to suffer immediately, we don't need party agents, you know. So provide your party agent. Immediately they check the accredited voters. How many people voted for your party? How many voted for the other party? Is it collide? Is it inconcise with BFAS accreditation? Yes. Party A, sign. Party B, sign. Party C, sign. We all agree. They will not took that one to the local government for local government collation. So after they've done the polling unit, all the party agents take their copy, and the returning officer from each polling unit take his own to local government, and you meet at local government.
But the essence of the IREV, I mean, from the explanations before elections, if you are talking and trying to justify this, is that results can be uploaded in real time. That is, from each polling unit. It did not say that people will have to go to the local government center first before getting the results of their polling units. That results could be uploaded at the polling unit through the IREV into the portal, into the INEC portal, so that everyone can actually follow through and see.
They overrated themselves.
Who?
INEC. Okay. I've said it on different platforms. INEC overrated. I don't know the expert that gave them the analysis. Because this is a nationwide election. It's not possible you post PU, PUA, PUB, PUC on we have, you know how many polling units we have across the nation, and how can you now get the collation to know exact winner in that state if there is not going to be state collation? There must be state collation for easy work, because if you collect that, because let's assume they are sending figure to the server, that means okay, APC 400, Labour Party maybe 300, PDP Kiniko. Now maybe there is going to be a data, a software that will calculate it immediately. We don't have that. They don't have software that will automatically calculate it that okay, PU1 have been submitted, but that as it may be, we are not yet there. They overrated themselves. I've said it down with that number. But where the challenge now is that when they now needed to upload those results, I'll copy from PUnito. They now discover that there are hackers that they already hack into the INEC server. So now, if hackers are already penetrating your server and they want to manipulate figure, mind you, if they started posting PU one after the other, there are some hackers that they will have written their own results somewhere. Well, they will just be uploading.
This is interesting that you bring this conversation up here, talking about hackers. Who do you think is best in the most desperate position to want to attack INEC servers to curb or to turn, INEC results in their favor in this election?
But we look at. Can do and undo.
Hold on. We have. I'm trying to be realistic here. Let's put the major parties, in perspective. We have the People's Democratic Congress, who is confident, or who seems confident. We have the Labour Party, who has the followership of the Nigerian youth, who continue, to drum support for the party. And then we have the All Progressives Congress that is in power, that is incumbent and has the machinery of state in its hands. Who is the likely suspect here, if you are to just point?
No, it's not my responsibility to tell you these are the suspects, but they know themselves. Those are the people crying foul. When they could not succeed to achieve their aims and objectives throughout the day. That is why, for you to know, that is why you see one of them. They are still counting 20 states, even maybe less than 20 states. They are already saying the election is rigged. What gives you? They are counting 21 states. They just finished counting 21 states. We still have about 40, 50 states to go. You're already saying you are boycotting the all. You are not going to part of this. Why? Because you already have the original result in your hand that you already know that is not in your favor. Nigerians are not giving critical thinking and analysis thinking. That is why I have issue with this country. Why? Somebody is crying foul when the result come out so far is just 21 states. We still have about 15 states that were saying automatically, you people in your collation room, you have already seen that you have lost.
So are you saying?
And you could not able to penetrate the system.
Honorable Larry.
And INEC chairman, being a smart person, he have to boycott it that way and say, come on, guys, we are not posting anything on server for now. Why? They are attacking us. It's technology.
Exactly. I'll ask two questions before we leave here. One is that, are you saying that the electoral process, the entire process that produced the president-elect at this moment, the entire process was free and fair and without any hiccups? That's one. Secondly, do you not think that the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakub, who made that decision at that time, is actually kicking against the law? Because the electoral law says that the results should be transmitted electronically or manually, by the way. So, but basically, the hopes and the expectations that they have given to many Nigerians is the fact that this election is going to be transmitted electronically so Nigerians can have access to it. Whether it was hacked or not wasn't preempted. It wasn't part of the conversation at the time. So for him to have said, look, we are not going to do this based on my own discretion, is it not a kick against the wall?
INEC is an independent body. They have their own prerogative to decide what to do at any particular given time.
But they derive the law from Nigeria.
Yeah, the law back them or they are independent body. But INEC have the right to do what they wish that is the best interest of the nation. So you thank God you said it here, that they say they will upload on IRF. If IRF could not work, they can go manually. So which law have they breached?
Okay, so you mean to
So
say
the
you mean to say now? You
the
mean to say
election
now?
is free,
Okay.
fair, and credible. There is no perfect election.
Honorable Larry, have you listened to the comments of many international observers, who observed this election? There are quite a lot of them. The European Union, being one of those that said, well, the election held, but some have described it as being chaotic election. Some of them have said roughly rigged election. I mean, there have been different languages from international foreign observers, who have commented about the 2023 general elections. Are you saying that their observations is not valid about our electoral process?
Thank God I'm also an observer during this election. So I have gave out my own press conference since last 2 weeks. You can check, it's on Arise, it's on everywhere. And they asked me the same question. That is their own opinion. I'm an observer here. I'm the head of National Coalition of Observers that gave you a report. So that is their own point of view. But what I said is that they cannot tell us how to govern our own internal affairs. They can only write their opinion and go back to their country.
Okay, so...
But in this election, we are domestic observers. We know the terrain. We know the language. We know our people. We know our previous experience. So what are you telling me? So you want a white man to come and write my story for me? Okay,
so you are saying now that our electoral process is effective. Hold on, that it is effective, and we have no need for adjustments, for remodification.
No. Have you seen any electoral body in the whole world that is perfect? Even in US, even in the Europe country they came from, there is upgrading on a daily basis. There is a room for adjustment. But to now compare this election with 2015 or 2019, you are a joker.
All right. I think that we should leave your submission.
Yeah, you are a joker. You are just playing. You're just playing together because election that is clearly contested, we don't see figures anyhow. Governors are losing their state. Mr. President is losing his state to opposition. The president, that presidential candidate of APC, losing his state to opposition. Come on, you must be a joker. That means you don't even know. I don't want to even be emotional about it. That means our people does not even know where we are before. They don't even appreciate this new electoral law.
I wanted us to move on, from very away from this line of conversation. But you have raised a very valid point, which is the fact that key stakeholders in the All Progressives Congress actually lost their election. Lost elections in their state and their wards. I'll begin with the national chairman of the party, Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu from Nasarawa State, from Kefi. He lost in his ward. He lost the state. He lost it in the presidential election. You go to Lagos. It also hasn't happened like that before. You talked about the margin earlier.
Exactly.
It's so close. You go to several states. You have states where you lost this governorship and you lost the House of Representatives. You talk about the FCT here. They have a Senate. They lost Senate. The PDP lost Senate, lost House of Representatives. So, key positions were lost. Hold on. Now, my question and concern is for key holders, key game players within the All Progressives Congress, losing their election within their own domain. What does that mean, for a party that is in power and have now won the presidential election?
No, it does not mean anything. Politics is a game, and it's a game either you lose or you win.
It does not mean that some of those politicians are maybe not as popular as they ought to be within their...
They are not on the ballot. That's the truth. They are not on the ballot. Is the chairman of the party, is he on the ballot? No. So some people in his environment, they may have a kind of sentiment towards Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And some of those domains now have been dominated by even non-indigenous, especially in Nasarawa. Yes, Nasarawa has been dominated by non-indigenous mostly. Both other tribes are there, all tribes. Are you getting it? So it's not the real indigenous alone now that is just like Lagos. Let me put it that way. So if you say Asiwaju lose in Lagos, do you think it's Yoruba people that voted him out in Lagos? No. There are a lot of non-indigenous in Lagos that they don't maybe like his way of politics, and they do that. So that's democracy for you. That's the beauty of democracy.
Okay.
You cannot be having your day all the time.
All right, interesting.
So, but someone to come and be telling me that this election was rigged or was this, I would just laugh.
Okay,
because you are not saying the truth to the public.
Honorable, let's look away from that. Let's x-ray Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency when he's sworn in. I think there are quite a lot of issues to deal with, across different sectors of the country at the moment. But one of the issues that the 2023 elections pointed out is the fact that religion and ethnicity still play key roles, in the decision of the Nigerian people. It decides who they follow, why they vote, whom they vote for, and all of that. And when we look at it also, we see that it does not unite the country. It has further divided us rather than unite us. You look at Lagos, for example, and you see all that went into the governorship elections. I mean, it was a tough battle out there, even though the APC narrowly escaped and emerged winner in that state. I'd like to ask you, beginning, how much prepared do you think is the Bola Tinubu administration to tackle these issues of ethnicity and religion in Nigeria, to bring back the fractured walls of Nigeria at the moment?
Is the opposition party, which is PDP and Labour Party, they are the ones selling out this narrative. APC, Presidential Campaign Council, they campaign on their manifestos. This is what we want to offer you people. And there are many analysts going up and down in different studios to bring more light to it. But what does PDP, what are they campaigning? They are campaigning on ethnicity. Go to the north, vote for your home. This is your home. That's what they are campaigning. That's what made the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar not to even want to do anything with them if they believe I've already get the mind of the northern people. If you check the voting pattern, that's what took place. You see that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar did not have any tangible 25% in the southern part of the country. But in all the northern part of the country, he has his 25%. And he won some. Majority of the state that he won, he was from another part of the country. Now, go to the Labour Party candidate, telling the church people, take back your country. Which country is the church country? Which country is a Christian country? We are not a Christian country. We are a secular nation. If they don't know, let them know now. So Asiwaju Bola Ahmed is not a tribal person. He's not a tribal bigot. It's not a religious fanatics. So they are the one trying to paint him that way because of the issue of Muslim ticket. They are the one trying to say, can't you see? It's a Muslim ticket. They will Islamize Nigeria. They will. Oh, someone that have not able to Islamize his family. His wife is a pastor for more than 35 years. He was there the day she was ordained as a pastor. All his children are Christian. He did not stop them not to do their religion. So, can't you see the mindset? And when you check the result, the voting pattern, you will see that across the nation, people that believe in his ideology, people that believe in his blueprint, they voted for him. That's why he has his 25% across the line. Only the Southeast state, only the 5 states in the Southeast and FCT that Asiwaju Ahmed did not have 25%.
All right.
But when you check the other party, you will know we are how to educate Nigerians, not to be biased. You will check the voting pattern of Labour Party, you will discover that it was voted throughout the religion setting and ethnic setting. I'm able to say it. It was Christian in Adamawa, a region that voted for him. Christian in Plateau voted for him because that place is mostly Christian. Christian in Benue voted for him. Those are, I'm mentioning not. And Christian in Taraba voted for him. does he get in Sokoto? That is a core Muslim state. What does he get in Kano? That is a core Muslim state. What does he get in Bauchi? So, now, back to your question. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed is not the type that look at your religion, look at your ethnicity before he work with you. He has proved it. He had a track record. He has appointed people from other regions as a state government.
First, you are right in your perspective and your submission. But I'm looking at it from the point of view of Nigeria and Nigerians. You spoke about the different fractured worlds right now. You talked about the Southeast, who, which have a demand, even before we went into the elections, that they want to produce Nigeria's next president. And maybe a few of them are within the APC and may form part of Asiwaju's government. There will still be a whole lot of people who are disgruntled, like we say, who, voted for their own son, so to speak. I'm talking about Peter Obi. When you go to the north, there will also be disgruntled people like that who feel that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar also deserves a chance. So all under one country. So my question is, how easy do you think it will be for the Asiwaju Ahmed administration to be able to, mend all of these fences together and appeal to the sensibilities, and mindsets of all of these people?
Apart from politics, there is no any region that does not, according to result, let me be talking about statistics, but I will not be as if I'm assuming. According to result we see so far, it shows that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed is acceptable across the religion, across ethnicity. It's acceptable in the north, it's acceptable in the south, it's acceptable in the southeast, it's acceptable in the southwest. So that is what I'm trying to do. It's not a difficult task for him because he got his vote across the line. So it's only that he could not get 25% in the southeastern state, which is reasonable. That okay, they may feel aggrieved, but yet he still have a lot of people there that they are his own. He still have a lot of people that they believe they work for him. So they cannot be outside the government. Now the election is over, the politicking is over. We'll come back to governance. And when we come back to governance, we don't talk about party any longer. We don't talk about tribes any longer. We don't talk about the ethnic or religion any longer. We talk about Nigerian constitution. We talk about the policy that we are going to make that will make the life of people better. So now people should realize that now. That is why we are out to tell people, come, put that thing at your back. Put that your campaign, whatever, at your back. It's over. We have gotten a new president. Whether for now is the next president.
Okay.
Until God says otherwise.
Interesting.
So and we are not ready to begin to relate to ourselves on a tribal level or religion level. We are one Nigeria.
One undivided entity, Nigeria. I agree with you. But let's quickly look at the All Progressives Congress. The outgoing administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, in my own summation, is more of a sweet and bitter government that it is leaving behind, a sweet and bitter experience with the Nigerian people. Why do I say that? At the beginning of the administration, there was pain, there were complaints about policies, about programs, which was sustained. I mean, the administration witnessed two-time recession, if you remember, during its 8-year lifespan that is outgoing, increased borrowing, and all of that. And all of this, Asiwaju and the APC was able to fight through to produce the next president of the country. But I'd like to ask, with the impression, that the Buhari administration has left with the Nigerian people, I must tell you, and I'm sure you know this, that a lot of people do not also believe in the Buhari administration. They believe he has failed the Nigerian people, all under the All Progressives Congress. I'd like to know, what should Nigerians, do you think Nigerians should really expect anything different under Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu? Because we remember how he campaigned vigorously, talked about policies and programs, that the Buhari administration was going to embark upon. And during the campaign, some of these issues came up, that you campaigned for President Muhammadu Buhari, and these are the results that we have at the moment. Now you are campaigning independently, separating yourself from the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, which is understandable because he was never in any office during the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. But do you think that it is going to be so easy, for him to change the mind of Nigerians? Or how long do you think this is really going to take to convince the Nigerian people that the Asiwaju Ahmed administration is different ideologically, is different theoretically, is different, in every way from the Buhari administration?
Now, thank you very much. To answer your question, President Muhammadu Buhari is even from Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are two entities, but they find themselves in the same party. And people don't realize that you can only campaign for somebody. You cannot help the person to implement policy. And you can only advise. You cannot force. That's the truth. And now, Nigerians have discovered one thing. Nigerians are hypocritical. If I'm correct.
Why do you say that? Hypocritical. Why are Nigerians hypocritical?
I know why. When President Muhammadu Buhari came up with CBN policy on Naira swap, it affected every one of us. Everyone. Both the rich and the poor. Sir, with due respect, do you see any reputable Nigerians lend their voice on that policy?
Maybe a few.
I could not even see anyone. You know why? Because they believe that policy is against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they were happy at it. Someone like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was saying, yes, they should not extend the date. Do you see Peter Obi say anything about it? Do you see NSC, TUC leader, president say anything about it? I'm on the media almost every two days to shout about this policy. That this is dead on arrival. Go and check the record. Go to YouTube. You see me there. Shouting about this. When they said they will not extend on Tuesday, the first extension, I was on the media on Friday. I said it cannot possible. But sir, do you see any reputable person talk? Don't deceive me. Nigerians are hypocritical. When they now say that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed has won the election, governorship election is over, CPI, Supreme Court has taken a stand, NUC or NSC, whatever, we are going to strike. We are going to strike. If you don't give Nigeria their money, why can't you talk about strike? When the issue was on our head. So please, anywhere you like, paint President Muhammadu Buhari. If you like, say his government is fair. If you like, say his federal is good. If you like, say his presidency is better. I don't follow them any longer. I don't follow Nigerian bandwagon. Because when we need you to speak for the voiceless, when we need you to speak for the hopeless in the rural area, they bury their head on the name of politics. They keep quiet. They are nice man. Some are even saying what President Buhari is doing is good. He's good. He is to curb the politician because Asiwaju said it in the Ogun State, say they are sabotaging him, so they love it that way. He is good. Do you see? I challenge them, or they should provide me the figure where NSC president raise a voice, or TUC president raise a voice, or any other reputable elder statement. I don't want to mention it. Elder statement raise a voice. Even at the time they do national council meeting, that the informer was saying, no, let them both Naira go concurrently, and President Muhammad did not attend to this. Nobody still talk. So please, anywhere you like, you paint President Muhammad regime. But when it's sweet them, do you see them talk? They no talk. So when it's pain there, Buhari is this, Asiwaju is this. My brother, I've seen it all. I've seen that. We Nigerian citizens, we don't even want good governance. We don't even know who is doing the right job. Is what favor my own side. I will say, yes, it's good. When it doesn't favor me, I say it's bad.
I like the submission, you just gave. I like it so very much. Talking about the people, we realize that the leader is from among the people, and the people produce their own leaders, and they get the leaders they deserve, so they say. So this, obviously, is more of an institutional problem at the moment. I'd like to know, in your own view, how much do you think the incoming administration is going to be able to tackle, this ideological problem of the Nigerian people? Hypocrisy, like you said, this is where I'm benefiting from, so this is where I'm going to stick to. This is where the facts remain. As long as this is where I can benefit from, as long as this is where I belong, that is where the fact ends. Every other fact remains, null and void. So I'd like to know, this is not good for our democracy going forward. Yes. So I'd like to know, how much do you think the incoming administration will be able to tackle this grave and urgent matter?
Is lack of knowledge. And thank God our youth are coming up. That's a good thing about this last election. I pray they can sustain the momentum. That's just it. And by sustaining the momentum, I also appeal to them. They should be doing more research on governance, on reality, than to be going on emotional. If they can be doing more research on governance, on reality, wallahi, we are taking this country to another greater height. So if you engage a youth on the street, you will see what will be coming out from their mouth. Not just a rhetoric, emotion, tribalism, irrelevant issue that cannot even move anywhere, any policy forward. So our educational system is also getting more decay. That's the truth. And I believe the president-elect said it in his acceptance speech. He said he will ensure that there is nothing like sign of handout in our institution any longer. If they can remove handout selling, give them a reality lecture, let them write. But the situation whereby you are selling handout that your own lecturer sold to you when you are in university in 1987. You just got home, you dust it, you do copy and paste, you charge them to come and pay. The knowledge of 1987, you want to impose it on another generation. When there is another innovation, even in physics, there is more innovation. Even in mathematics, even in English language you are speaking. But in Nigeria university, you see, saying go and tell them that's what they sold for your brother last 3-4 years in the same university. They are selling it for you too. And you get that, you get 40 marks. So at the end of the day, our youth are not given to study extensively the way it should be. So that has really happened. So I thank God that the president mentioned it in his sentence speech. They come. Nothing like saying a found out again. Your 4-year course will be 4-year course. We are going to make sure we provide credit facility. And we are going to ensure that universities have their own autonomy, so that they can start generating income by themselves. They have land. You go to many universities, you'll be asking them yourself. When you say you are a professor in this university, you say you are a professor of agriculture, what has he been doing with his agricultural professorship? And there is a land. He cannot challenge students to go on massive farming. They are not doing research any longer. All the laboratory is nothing. So we need to go back there. That's why you see a lot of massive people going outside the country there in the name of they want to go and study. When our university are one of the best before in this country. So we trust God and we believe in his capacity of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has said he's going to do all these things. And we trust God in the next 6 months of his administration. We want to see radical changes.
All right. Interesting. As we wrap up, you talked about the next 6 months of his administration. And what it reminds me of, is the first 6 months in the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. And what we had was a government that was not fully formed because the cabinet members, were not elected or were not appointed at the time. Ministers, it took several months, if you do remember, before, they were being inaugurated or being appointed. How do you see the administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Do you see the administration towing the same line?
As I'm talking to you, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed is already working. People don't know. Asiwaju is not a talking guy. Go and check his record. That is why people were expecting him to come to debate, come and be talking grammar, come and be giving out services. They're not. And he will tell you, I'm a thinker and I'm a doer. That means I'm not an eloquent person. I'm not an orator. Many people talk too much, they cannot think, they cannot do. But they can talk heaven and heaven will come down and they are empty in brain. Which one do you prefer? A thinker and a doer. Think it, create it, and say, okay, let's implement it. So that is who he is. He's already working, but he won't make noise outside. He's already working. They're already doing transition. Committee is already working. Another sector that is supposed to do, they're already engaging people. So he's not a talking person. He's a thinker. So even not because of politics and campaign purpose, you may not say anything to you.
So you believe
but it's working.
You believe now that when Asiwaju is sworn in as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that within a matter of weeks or maybe months, we'll have ministers appointed in different positions.
Definitely.
In different ministries.
Definitely. It's a matter of weeks or months. And it's not even going to be a month. Only weeks, because we need to hit the ground running. Maybe you want to go and get minister from heaven. No, the ministers are here within us. So what we just need to do this period of transition period is to check it out. Who is fit for this? Who is fit for it according to state level?
Okay. So finally, in hitting the ground running, what would you, as a Nigerian who understand the different phases of challenges that we are going through at the moment, what sector do you think should be his first point of call, having been appointed, having been sworn in as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Normally, you may think that you should quickly start working on power. That you can't leave power and leave works and housing. Because there is one of the promises, one of the key promises allowing people to get access to mortgage. So as you are working on power, you are talking about finance, fiscal economy policy, and monetary economy policy. So it's pari passu. You can't leave one and throw away one. So that is why we need the ministers. People don't know that. It's the ministers that work with you that make your government works. People think it's the president. The president is the CNC to give direction, but it's not president that will follow you to the field. So when you get to the field and you discover that it's something that is not good, you're able to tell your president, sir, if we do this, it's going to be bad. Let's do this so that things are. But if you are not a good person and you are not a loyal person to Nigeria, how will you, maybe you have your own hidden agenda. So you go and sell rubbish to Mr. President.
Okay, finally, just before I let you go,
the CBN policy.
Before I let you go,
is it President Buhari that will say Emefiele want to cheat on? Is it Emefiele that will come with the strategy?
Honorable Henry, many Nigerians are waiting now. Some are confused; they don't know what to expect. Some are anxious, about the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of the Federal Republic. What are your thoughts? What are you telling Nigerians at this moment as we await the day of inauguration?
They should not be confused. They should be happy and they should keep praying for their leaders, both at the governorship and the local government level and at the presidency. There is no any leader that comes to power that is not ordained by God in any nation. So God has given us Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Our responsibility as a citizen is to pray for him and to also hold him accountable on any area that he promised that he doesn't want to go by it. Keep reminding him, Your Excellency, you promised us this. Your Excellency, you promised us this. We have not seen it yet. So that you can become an opposition. If there is no opposition, government will sleep. So you become a citizen supposed to become an opposition to government, not in a wrong way, in a critical way. If you did good thing, say it. I don't know what happened somewhere. And that's a good thing. Then that person now look at that. So you can I said, why? If you see a good thing somebody did, why can't you appreciate it? So that when your own is to always see bad. I think it was one hotel that I lodged in New York. I said, wow, this is a good thing, this is a good idea, this is a good idea. And they were looking at me like, you are appreciating it. Why do we like? I have noticed it. If somebody comes to this studio now, instead of you to see the good, to say, wow, it's good, it's good, it's good. Now to say, why you don't put this on here? Why you don't put this on here? Why? Now ask the person, can he even do half of what he did? So we have a kind of a negative vibes in this country. So, and I'm not part of such. Either you are my enemy or you are my friend. When I see that you do a good thing, even my family, they know. If the person that comes, I can also do so. I will say, that's nice of him. That's good. That's good. So we should not be negative. Be positive to your government. And when the area is not doing well, you call him to order. Your Excellency, we are not experiencing this. Well, and the person, that is how it should be. So don't be positive, don't be negative, and be happy. Don't be worried. We have seen him before. He has ruled before in Lagos State as a governor. So everybody that is in Lagos as at that time, because I was in Lagos at that time, so I knew how his government was. Yes, as a teenager, I knew how his government was. We don't have any form. You can't have any form of panic. If there are issues somewhere, if they say they are going, that time, Alausa become like a police station. I could remember any small thing they say we are going to Alausa. Any small thing we are going to Alausa. Even market women, there's any small thing they say we are going to Alausa, we are going there to protect. We are going to meet governor. So they make him like they are police there. Any small thing in their market, maybe there is anything, you see the women say we are going to Alausa. You see the youth, they say we are going to Alausa. Every protest then was Alausa. That's how I got to know more about what is happening in Alausa. I don't even know. I was living in Kenya. I don't even know that was where the seat of power is. So it was during that time, small thing I was money they go to Alausa now and complain. And when they go there, submit their letter, they receive their complaint. And you see Asiwaju, he act on it. That is what makes people to fall in love with him, not anything.
Wow, thank you so very much, Honorable Lanre Oluwole, for your contributions on the show. We really do appreciate.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I've been speaking with Honorable Lanre Oluwaniyi. He's a politician and a political analyst, and he's been giving us insights, into what to expect from the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. But above all, wrapping up, he said something which I would like us all to go home with, that we should be the opposition. The people now should be the opposition in this coming government. Do not go and relax and say that perhaps, well, I didn't want him to be president, so I don't care what happens. Remember that what you contribute actually comes back to benefit you, whether you like it or not. So you should be an active part of this democracy, be an active part of this government, hold the government accountable and demand, for good governance. That is the way that we can grow. That is the way we can become better in our democracy and governance in general in Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching today's edition. I'll come your way again next time with more interesting subject of discussion on our political scene. Till then, keep watching our live television. I am Olugbenga George. Have a great day.